Keeping your hips and your feet and your legs grounded, settled and heavy. Lengthening through the belly and through the chest. Relaxing down through the shoulders. Relax your head completely down, releasing your neck. Let's start to move, starting with the head first. So as you breathe in, look forwards and then reach your chin all the way up. And as you exhale, look forwards and then drop the chin all the way down. Do a few of those. So lengthening through the throat as you reach up. Lengthening through your neck as you reach down. And keep going in your own time, perhaps synchronizing with the breath as you look up. That's a pattern of inhalation. And as you look down, that's a pattern of exhalation. We'll continue this movement in a moment, so let's come back to the center. And now we want to move a bit further down. So kind of move the neck now. Obviously the head moved, but it was the kind of movement in the neck that allowed the head to move up and down. Now we try to move the torso as well. So as you look forwards, you can have a look first. As I bring my chin forwards, I also bring my chest forwards and look up. As I bring my chin down, taking my chest backwards. So not much happening in my lower body, kind of in my belly area. Just the chest reaches up and pulls back. Let's do a few of those. So reach your chin forwards, open the throat, then bring the chest forwards as you look up. Feel the chest and the breastbone expanding. Then bring the chin down, collapse the throat. Press the head back, stretch your neck, and then bring the chest back to really broaden the upper back. Let's do a few of those. Again, the pattern of the inhalation is the chin forwards and the chest forwards and up. And the exhalation is chin down, chest back, broadening it back. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round in a bit. Last 2, inhale, open up. Exhale, slightly rounding in. And one more time, inhale, throat, chest, chin. And exhale, chin, throat, chest. Then come back to the center. And we'll deepen in the movement. So rather than just moving the chin, the throat and the chest, we're also moving the belly now. So as you inhale again, you can have a look first. I'm bringing my chin forwards, then the throat, then the chest, then the belly. And as I exhale, I'm dropping the chin down, taking the chest back, taking the belly back. If I do it from the side, it might be easier to see. By the way, you don't have to sit cross-legged. You can do it sitting on your heels in Vajrasana, which might feel easier. So have a look. So it's this one for the inhalation. You can see the whole front of my body is opening, the whole back is compressed. And as I exhale from the chin to the chest to the belly, I'm rounding in, going for flexion. So keep going. Inhale, going to the extension pattern. And exhale into the flexion, leading from the head. Again, inhale, leading from the head, so it's throat, chest, belly looking up. And exhale, leading from the head, it's chin, chest, and belly rounding in. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, breathing in. And breathing out. And then come to neutral and take a moment in. To keep things interesting, and it's really good for your brain to do something different at least once a day, to challenge your brain, because that will keep you young, by the way. It's the fountain of youth inside of you. We're moving now from the belly. Not from the head, but from the belly, or rather from the hips. So it doesn't matter which way you sit, but if you can sit in Vajrasana, go for that one, it's easier. So I'm moving on, keeping my chin down. I'm just going to bring my belly forward, then the chest forwards, then the throat forwards as the head goes up. And I'm still looking up as I'm drawing my belly back, and then my chest back, and then the chin drops down. So it all starts from my hips. I'm going into a hip nutation here. I'm going into anterior tilt, then belly, then chest, then throat, then chin. And then moving from the hips, going to posterior tilt, belly comes in, ribs come in, throat comes down, head comes down, flexion. 2 more. Find your own time, your own way, work with your breath. Resist the urge, the habit of moving from your head. And then come into neutral. And if you're not already in Vajrasana, come to it now, and we're going to bring the hands down to the floor, and the hands are kind of 6-8 inches in front of your knees. Okay, if that's really uncomfortable for your knees, you can take a cushion or roll up your mat or something and place it between your heels and your sitting bones. It makes it easier for your knees. Okay, so whether your heels and sitting bones are touching, it almost doesn't really matter. Keep your hands on the floor. We'll do it again, moving from the hips first. So think of your lower back and go for that tilt backwards, go to flexion, and just tilt it forwards. Just do the lower back for now. So again, round in for the lower back, and bring the tailbone up. Again, rounding in, it might look simple, but I know it's not. And release it down. Now we're going to go all the way along the spine. Start from your tailbone, round it in, then push into the floor with your hands and dome the back, going for that angry cat position. The chin is dropped down, it's coming down towards your chest, the hands are pushing into the floor. Then moving from the tailbone, lift it up, bring the belly to the thighs, bring the chest forwards. Now lift the head, look forwards, or maybe even look up. So keep looking up or forwards, start to bring your tailbone under, then flexing for the spine, still looking forwards, then come into the upper back, still looking forwards, and then drop the head right in the end. Keep looking down, bring your tailbone up, as the belly comes forwards, keep looking down, bring the belly, the chest forwards, keep looking down, bring the heart forwards, then look up. One more time, from tailbone under, stretch your back, upper back, and then drop the head, and from the tailbone up, belly forwards, chest forwards, throat forwards, looking up. And take a moment and relax and drop your elbows to the floor, or maybe place your head on your hands, or maybe place the head on the floor, just relax down. So go into child's pose. And of course, to keep you young, because that's part of my motivation to keep you young, so hopefully you're happy with that. We're going to move from the head now rather than from the hips. It might feel easier, it might feel harder, it might just feel confusing. So just work through it in your own time. Let's come back to the hands. Again, the hands are about 6 to 8 inches in front of your knees. And now not moving from the hips as we did before, moving from the head. So first of all, go to a bit of flexion here. Okay, so the head drops down, is a slight flexion for the lower back. Let's start from the head. So look forwards, then bring the chest forwards, stretch the belly forwards. Now tip your tailbone, so gradually you can look more up. And then keep the belly close to your thighs, drop the head down, press into the hands, dome the upper back, press into the hands, dome the mid back, press into the hands, dome the lower back, until the tailbone comes down. Going for full flexion. Now keep the full flexion in your back, keep your core switched on, look forwards. Then bring the chest forwards, keep the lower back switched on, bring the heart forwards. Now relax the tailbone, bring the belly forwards, lift the tailbone up. Okay, and 3 more times in your own time, as slowly as you need to. Moving from the head drops down, flexion, dripping down the spine all the way toward your tailbone. And the tailbone stays under as the head releases that pressure, then one vertebra at a time, the rest of the spine coming into that extension. Just keep going, find your own rhythm. The rounding in is the exhalation pattern, lengthening out is the inhalation pattern. And once you've done your 2, release back down to child's pose. Okay, so moving through the spine, kind of doing this kind of segmentation is difficult, especially if your lower back, mid back or upper back or neck are tight or injured and they can't move to your heart's desire. But still do it as much as you can. It's so good for you. You just do what you can and you find that over time things get easier. Let's go to hands and knees. Okay, so hips above knees, shoulders above hands. And a normal tabletop, and of course we're doing cat and cow because we're carrying the same motif. So let's go into that angry cat position, going to full flexion. So first of all, notice your tailbone goes under, lower back is flat, rounded,
belly is switched on, the core is switched on, the hands are pushing into the floor, the chin is dropping down, so your neck is long as well. We're starting here from the hips. Lift your tailbone up. Notice the belly coming down towards the floor. Keep looking down. Now bring the chest down. Start to move the chest forwards and then lift the head, open the throat, and maybe take the head to look forwards or looking up. Now whatever you're looking at, keep looking at that. Move from your tailbone. Bring your tailbone under, rounding through lower back. Gradually let that movement come up to mid to upper back, and then drop the head, lengthen your neck, look towards the space between your knees. And 3 more in your own time, moving from your tailbone, from your hips. So get that extension, moving, traveling along the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale to open up, and exhale to round in. This is so good for your back. And once you're done, go to child's pose and take a moment. So we want to look after the back. But we also want to look after the brain to keep you young. So let's come back and we change the pattern. So come back to tabletop and we're going to the flexion as our starting position. Now we're not moving from the hips, we're moving from the head. So keep your tailbone under and your core switched on, look forwards. Then drop your chest forwards, then drop mid-back forwards, then drop your belly forwards and lift your tailbone up. That helps you to look a bit higher up. Now keep the tailbone up, drop the head down, lift the neck up, lift the shoulders up, lift the mid, upper, lower, all the way to the tailbone, rounding in. And we're doing 4 more in your own time. So move from the head, find the resistance in the tailbone until it's time, then lift your tailbone up. Keep the tailbone up, move from the head, that's the exhalation pattern. Yeah, keep moving in your own time. Articulating through your back for the vertebrae. And once you're down, again go into child's pose and take a moment there. We've not finished with the same pattern. By now it might be easier. We're going to go into downward facing dog here. So plant your hands, plant your toes. Let's go into downward facing dog. Being the first one, let's walk it a bit. Feel the back of your legs opening gradually, we'll need that. Feel your shoulders opening gradually, maybe now straighten both legs and kind of drop the chest a bit lower. Feeling the feet and the hands stretching away from each other, stretching your mat. Then holding downward facing dog, I'm getting a bit sleepy here, and let's just do a bit of movement from the hips. Okay, just take a moment there. I need to dampen my mat because I'm slipping. That's better. Sorry about that. Okay, so keeping your hands on the mat, that's better. And it's kind of rounding here, so bring your tailbone under, around your back, and just imagine your feet and your hands drawing towards each other. It definitely works your core. And then lift your tailbone up, relax the belly down, reach the heart forwards, look towards the hands, and we're stretching the mat. The chest drops lower. The tailbone goes up. The sitting bones go up. Now do it again. Bring from the tailbone, the movement starts. Bring the tailbone under. Lift upper back. Lift lower back. Mid back. Upper back. Look down. Then start from your tailbone. Lift it up. But keep looking down. Lift it up. Belly down. Chest down. Then look forward to the space between your hands. One more time in the same way. Drop your tailbone under. Keep looking to the space between the hands. Moving along the back until the head last drops down. Keep looking down, lift your tailbone up. Go for that full extension in the spine until eventually the head looks forwards. Take a moment here. Let's drop the knees onto the floor. And we go into heart pose, so walk the hands forwards and drop your forehead to the floor. If you can't reach the floor, slide something underneath it. It could be on your elbows to make things easier. Feel your body opening as well as settling. And now, of course, we'll change the order. So let's go back to downward facing dog. And we moved from the hips, now we're going to move from the hands. So just go into normal downward facing dog. And we're starting from the head. So look forward towards the space between your hands. Drop your chest down, drop the belly down, lift your tailbone up. Now keep your tailbone up, drop the head down, round for the upper back, round for the mid back, round for the lower back. Keep your tailbone under, look forward to the space between the hands, drop your shoulders down, then one vertebrae at a time until you're coming up to your tailbone. And 3 more in your own time. Move from the head, resist all the way until the end from your hips. This is a lot trickier than it may seem, which is why it's so good for your brain. Make a new neural connection with your brain. We call it brain plasticity. You're literally reinventing your brain. You're making it younger. And we're finishing by walking the hands back to the feet. We go to Uttanasana. Coming towards the back of the mat, or the front of the mat, doesn't really matter. Just relax down. Feel free to have a nice bend in the knees. And definitely relax your arms. It's hard. If comfortable, slowly start to work towards straightening your legs. Find that length perhaps for your legs. If you prefer, you can keep your knees bent today. You're taking it easy, it's gentle. Okay, let's slowly with the knees bent, bring the tailbone under, and then one vertebra at a time coming up for the spine. Right, so standing tall. And take a moment here, mountain pose. We'll do it one more time. The same wave kind of movement with the spine in both ways. Starting with the head, it's usually easier with the head. Just imagine there's a wall in front of you. Okay, it's kind of fairly close to you, about maybe 6 to 8 inches in front of you. And just move your chin, your nose towards the wall and take it away. Okay, with the head, so the head, the nose try to touch the wall and take it away. This should feel fairly easy, so reach forwards and take the head back. Reach forwards and take the head back. Once you feel comfortable with that, join the chest. So reach your nose forwards and bring the chest forwards and take the chest back and the nose back. So head as in nose, then chest, nose moves back, chest moves back, and you're back where you started. So head, chest, chest, then head first, then chest, then head comes away from the wall, then the chest. Now we're moving lower back as in belly. So bring the head forwards, then the chest, then the belly. And bring the head away, then the chest, then the belly. And keep moving for that, it turns into a wave. From the head, there's a rounding for the spine, there's a lengthening. So as you exhale, round in, the head drops down, it looks forwards. And as you inhale, you opening up. Start to get really comfortable here, hopefully. Go into like this nice wave motion. If the breath work is confusing, don't worry about it, just stay with the breath. Stay with the movement. Okay, let's come out. Take a moment, relax. Let's challenge the brain here. We're moving from the hips, from the butt. So staying tall, stay up. Just think of that wall again, bring your hips to the wall and take them back. Bring your hips to the wall and take them back. Bring the hips to the wall and take them back. And then bring the hips to the wall and your belly, and take the belly, then the hips. And the hips, belly, belly, hips. Hips, belly, belly, hips. And then hips, belly, chest, and chest, belly, hips. Again, hips, belly, chest, move the hips, move the belly, move the chest. So starting from the hips, reach them forwards, ripple up, and take them away, ripple down. Then add the head. So hips, belly, chest, head, hips, belly, chest, head. And keep going. Again, eventually that becomes quite comfortable too. And even if it's not happening exactly as you think it should be, you're still moving, still making these kind of neural pathways, connections that makes your back, your spine, as well as your brain young. Okay, let's finish here, reach the arms all the way up, and then fold all the way down. You can keep your legs straight or bend your knees. Taking a moment here, you can hold your feet, you can hold your legs, you can rest the hands on the floor. Just go for an Uttanasana to release and relax.